Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my first video ever. Thank you for listening. I'm excited to have you here. Every week I'm going to be telling you what I hear is going on for all of us in the collective for the following week. So this message is for all zodiac signs, and I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of books in and my recommendations for book picks too. I've been a psychic and a medium for most of my life, but I've been a librarian for quite some time too. So I'm going to share my book picks at the end of this with you. But we're going to jump into our reading. Um, I can tell you that this space is cleansed and that we are safe here, and that I'm sending that healing to wherever you are listening to this also, so that we are safely guided and protected by our spirits who are here with us now. The room's already getting a little bit hot with activity. And I did hear a message while I was meditating this morning before I jumped on here. And the message for all of us is that we're not alone. Your work is meant to be collective with one another, to heal each other and to share freely with one another. So that was what I heard during my morning meditation for this reading. Now let's dive in and see what they tell us. So here we go. I can hear in my head already that our guide's telling us that we're going to need to be patient in the week coming ahead. Now, I felt this week was a doozy in itself. You may have been feeling that kind of spicy, heated energy with some of your relationships or your colleagues or your coworkers. And I think that there's more of that coming up next week too. It might even be a little bit amplified. Okay, first, well, for sure it's going to be amplified. The first card I got is the Ten of Cups, but I will tell you the final card I got is the Tower. So, so Ten of Cups is our first card for today, and then I'll show you our other cards too, ending with the Tower. So, what does it mean for us, right? What is it telling us? Uh, you're you're really working hard, really, all of us are working really hard, and we're trying to find that happiness. I think that we know that there's no utopia, um, but we're looking for that little slice of heaven, that little piece of happiness and joy that we may have felt has been not quite there for us yet, and that we've been really working hard. And I think that a lot of these things are simple things too. Calm, peace, financial well-being, abundance, joy, ability to spend time with friends and family. So that reward can seem a little bit into the distance for many of us, and I think that we're looking for ways for that to come to fruition for everyone. Now, some people are already on their journey for this. Some people listening to this have already planted the seeds that are going to take them where they need to go. The rest of us, we're still working it out. A lot of this stems too from childhood and from where we envisioned ourselves. And for some of us, where we envisioned ourselves isn't where we are now. Um, and our guides want us to know that there's no going back. We know that, right? There's no going back. There's only moving forward. Yet changing that vision that we had of ourselves can be really difficult. It's really hard to reimagine something. And this is the time where we think about, why do I feel the way that I do? Why did I hold on to this? Often we don't move to the next chapter. We just stay stuck in the same place for over and over again. There are some challenges. And I think that there's definitely going to be some challenges at work this week. I think, like I mentioned that in the beginning, that people felt extra spicy last week. So I guess this week it's going to be caliente, right? It's going to be super spicy, where there will be some conflict. The conflict is necessary. I know it seems like, I wish it was just peace and quiet, but the conflict is necessary, because we cannot move forward until we take down the system until we break things down and we shed a light and we reveal what's really there. And that is necessary to move forward. And I think a lot of us are feeling that way. Like, why does this continue to go on? Um, and or feeling there's no accountability for some of the folks that um, are in positions of power, perhaps, or could be a supervisor or any kind of power dynamic like that. You may be feeling like, hey, do people see this? Do people see this craziness? And I think that they do, and I think that they will continue to see it, and that is necessary for us to have this growth that we would like and to move forward. So again, though, that change can feel tricky, and it can feel very intense as we're going through it too, which is why I think this message during my meditation connects. We're not alone. So often we feel like, am I alone here? Am I alone here at work? Are other people feeling the same way or feeling the same thing? Yes, they are. Sometimes we don't talk about it, or sometimes we're not safe to talk about it. But we can connect with other people who are our people or feel safe to us, and they probably are experiencing something very similar, even if they work in a totally different field or they're in a different space in their life from us. Now, let's take a look at um, people or things that are going to impact us this week and see what other messages our guides have from us. I hear it again, another message from our guides. It just popped into my head. Really be patient this week. If you can try to be less reactive, again, we all know ourselves. Some of us are more passive and others of us tend to be, quick to respond. Be less quick to respond. It's not a great time to be extra with all the stuff that's going on. Just take a moment. Take a moment before you let people push your buttons, because I do think that that's what some people will just try to be doing, is pushing your buttons. Let's see. Okay, so there's three different situations is what I heard this week. And this first one, if you can see that, is envy. Now, I think this connects to those of us who are in the work spot. Have you felt that people are envious of your work, and has it harmed your relationships or your growth or your progress? That feeling of completion. Now, this can go two ways. This can be either we are envious and we're not realizing it. And sometimes we become envious, not our best trait, right? If we really look deep down inside, sometimes we become envious when we see that other people have something, this little slice of heaven, like I was talking about, that we feel is so out of reach for us. Or if we feel we have tried really, really hard to get there, and it seems like all the doors are shut for us. And so I think that this message, yeah, I hear it in my head. This message is for us. This message is for us to think about whether or not we are secretly envious of other people's success and what that means. While I think it's a natural emotion, sometimes it can be destructive for us. Letting those seeds, I think, impede us for our spiritual growth, and yet it's so easy to do now, right? It's so easy because less and less people have access to things, and it can feel like it's only for a selected few. One might think, what about me? What about me? I'm working hard over here too. Doesn't anybody see the work that I do? The truth that we have to remember is that we are not always aware of the timing, and it can feel frustrated for other people who are impatient like me. I am impatient by nature. It can feel like, wow, I've been doing this forever, and I don't feel reward or recognition for my work. Remember that our guides, our spirit guides, our ancestors are working on a different timing to help us, to open doors and barriers. But we also have to help. We have to lift our hand up for help also, right? And what does that mean? We have to push through doors ourselves too, and that can be difficult for us. Sometimes we have to acknowledge that we may feel envious of other people, but we still may have our own work to do, right? So Next message from our guides is about anxiety. Have we been suffering from anxiety? If those of you who know me, I suffer from massive anxiety, right? I've had lifelong anxiety. You may be feeling um, this sensation of feeling stuck. And I think when I think of anxiety, I think of stuck energy. It's one of the worst feelings, and it's connected to this envy card a lot because when we feel we do not have options or we're just uncertain, that really can at times damage us. The truth is that sometimes we are momentarily paused, and it's not a great feeling like we're stuck. But there are always options. Sometimes it's hard to see them. We have to really sometimes dive deep to see what those options can be. And to have hope is hard sometimes because it's that thing that we can't see, that we can't hold, that's intangible. How do we know that there's something better ahead, that something else is there? That's having that hope and that faith, and that can be difficult. Same thing with feeling ungrounded. Now, we may have felt this week a little bit ungrounded. I know I sure did. If you have felt that way, know what things you can do for yourself that help you feel grounded. That's something different for everybody, right? For me, I'm an earth sign. I love to physically go outside in the morning before I start my workday and walk along the grass with my bare feet. That couple minutes really helps me. It could be something different for you. It could be drinking extra water or taking an extra shower as a cleansing thing, but have something. Not only will that help you with this anxiety that's, I think, forecast for us this week, this spicy energy that I was telling you about. It will help you. It will help elicit a little bit of calmness when people are trying to get a reaction from us. And again, I do think we're going to see some players who are trying to get a little bit of a reaction and poke the bear a little bit this week. Um, that being said, our other message was about action and taking action. This card reminds me of the Chariot, right, in tarot. Which way are we going to go? This is really hard. Sometimes it's really hard to know when to take action and when not to. When am I moving forward? And am, is not taking any action holding me back? This is sometimes really, really difficult to discern because sometimes taking no action isn't action, right? We know that. But sometimes if we know ourselves, sometimes that's great. Maybe we are, if you're listening and you're the person who's always on the go, who has a hard time standing still, who has a hard time sitting down and meditating for a few minutes or journaling. Again, no shade, you know yourself. I run into patterns like this sometimes too. Then maybe taking more action, if you're that person, is not the right thing for you right now. Maybe taking a calm pause to think about your next steps could be for you. Or I think that there's some of you listening who are on your way to something, who have been paused long enough, who've been on the sidelines and are jumping in right now, are jumping into your next place, your next a step along the journey. So sometimes this card is both things at once. And that's hard. It feels like I'm giving you a mixed message. And because I think it is a mixed message, we have to figure out when is the time for us to pull back and when is the time for us to move forward. Now, I want to hear what other messages our guides have for us, for those who are listening. What else would they like us to know? The first thing I heard is that some of us might be feeling alone or lonely, and our guides and I hear Mother Mary in my head clearly saying to remember that there's always somebody who's hugging you, and she's talking about herself or in the spiritual realm. So if you have been feeling alone or like you don't have that motherly embrace that you've been wanting or that you've been longing for, you could know that there's somebody there. You can you can call upon a crossed over loved one, your ancestor guide, if you already are working with a spirit guide, or like Mother Mary, and ask for that hug that you need. If you're able to and you're connected with other people, stop to embrace and hug one another. It really will help and uplift us all. This week is about relationships. Yes, we're going to have some tricky relationships, but I think this message is about our romantic relationships, our loving relationships, and um, feeling that there is support. Um, and for those who have felt like perhaps in the relationship that they were not supported at the level that they needed to, or that they were unheard, not heard, maybe, this is another message to be grateful for who's there and who's been there with you. And um, also recognize that um, uh, everyone is not always doesn't always have all the space to love us in the way that we would hope for, or the way that we need, maybe sometimes. That doesn't mean that they don't love you, though. And somebody needs to hear that. That's what I'm told. So that message is coming through loud and clear to me. If you are hoping for a new relationship, be careful about the words that you use about yourself. That's what I hear in my head loud and clear. So if you tend to talk negatively about yourself, even if you do it like in a funny way, don't do that. Um, Make sure you are speaking to yourself kindly, and that you are aware of how great you are. And you are great. If you don't believe that, you're great. And let yourself know that. That doesn't mean that we all don't have like that stuff, right? Like that shadow side stuff that we have, but we are great people. And sometimes either through humor or through insecurity, we have a inner monologue, and we are telling ourselves untruths. Don't put that out into the universe. So if you are someone who's looking for that new relationship, speak kindly to yourself, speak greatly about yourself, and know that you are worthy. I think that there's some people listening, is what I hear, who are thinking of entering into um, I see like a partnership with documents, so a marriage, or living together, or things like that, and that's going to be successful. That's going to be a great celebration and successful. So I think that some of us are going to be celebrating with our families, um, and other folks are going to still be contemplating where they are in their current relationships, and wondering if it's working for them or not working for them. Um, but hold one another in kindness, is what I hear. Now, I want to pull um, a card on timing. If you have a question, I want you to pause and think about a question. Let's all get one, a question that we've been having for ourselves for this week. I hear in my head, if you are asking yourself a question in your head, our guides are telling us yes. They're saying yes. I hear yes, yes, yes 3 times in my head. Let's see if there is a timing around that, and if we know when this question that we have is coming to fruition. Huh. So we don't know. It's that divine timing. This is time will bring a surprise. So what we asked for will come to us probably when it's least expected. Remember to walk in gratitude, and to speak kindly to yourself and to each other. That's the message that I hear for us this week, that they would like for us to go forth with. And again, another message I just heard really loud in my head too was the same one I gave you before, which is to be patient. I think, again, people will try our patience this week, and be spicy, and being patient instead of being reactive will be the thing that will really help us. Now, that is our reading for the week. I wanted to share with you my 2 book picks for this week. So I am a prolific reader. If you're not, I hope that you become one. Because I'm a legit librarian and I love books. They've changed my life. I read a tremendous amount of nonfiction. I hope you're reading whatever you love to read. If you haven't read anything lately, I hope you pick up a good book. Check out your local library. I am reading two really excellent things. This one right here, you can see all my little post-it notes because I'm going to use it at work. How to Win the War on Truth. How mistruths are sold, why they stick, and how to reclaim reality. It's written like a graphic novel. It's nonfiction. Author is Samuel Spitali, and it's just really, really great. It talks about propaganda, news. It has some like interesting snippets. Chapters are really short too, so they're kind of easy to read through. Highly recommend that one to you. And then I don't read one book from cover to cover at once. They're like separate channels for me. So I'm reading several books at once. So this other one I'm reading is called Unwired. And this is by a professor, I think at Seton Hall, named Gaia Bernstein, Gaining Control Over Addictive Technologies. If you know me, you know that I am dubious about social media. Interesting because I'm posting this on YouTube, right? This is also a really good book talking about our phones becoming addictive and how they're holding a hold on us, right? So if you feel like you're addicted to your phone, put your phone down. Anyway, this is your message in your reading. I hope that it has helped you. Please do feel free to leave a comment if you would like. I would ask you just to like and subscribe this and to share if you can. If not, wishing you a successful week, and I'll be back next week to share more news with you. Bye, all.